Ever notice how the more you want something, the harder it seems to get? It's like chasing after something that keeps running away, right? Well, here's the secret. The law of attraction doesn't want you to chase. It wants you to let go. In this video, we're diving deep into the paradox of how letting go of attachment actually helps you attract what you desire most. Whether it's love, success, or inner peace, you'll learn the secret sauce to allowing abundance to flow naturally into your life. So stick around, because by the end, you'll be ready to stop pushing so hard and start receiving effortlessly. Here's the revised version of Understanding Letting Go, with a bit more depth and length to further engage and elaborate on the concept. So, what does it really mean to let go? Let's get one thing straight. Letting go is not the same as giving up. It doesn't mean you stop wanting things or that you give up on your dreams. Instead, it's about releasing the tight grip of control, the kind that creates stress and frustration. Picture this. You're pulling on a rope as hard as you can. The harder you pull, the more tension you create, and eventually, your hands start to hurt. That's what attachment feels like. When you're overly attached to something, whether it's a person, an outcome, or even an idea, you're actually creating resistance. You're holding on so tightly that you block the natural flow of things. In fact, this idea is deeply rooted in both spiritual teachings and the law of attraction. Buddhism teaches that attachment is the root of all suffering. The more we cling, the more we suffer. Aaron Doherty explains this in a powerful way too. When you're attached to something, it's like placing it on a pedestal. The moment you do that, you create resistance, and ironically, you push it further away. Think about how people often try to force love, constantly searching and searching. It rarely works, right? But when they finally relax and stop desperately looking, love just shows up out of nowhere. That's the magic of letting go in action. You release the pressure, and suddenly, things begin to flow naturally. So, when we talk about letting go, we're really talking about releasing attachment, not the desire itself. You can still want things, but you have to let go of that needy energy. It's about trusting that what's meant for you will come when the time is right. Think of it as opening your hands instead of clenching them. When you're open, you're ready to receive. Ever wonder why things seem to happen effortlessly for some people? It's not because they're lucky. It's because they've mastered the art of detaching from the outcome. The less they try to control everything, the more naturally things come to them. So, what's the takeaway here? It's simple. Letting go isn't about losing control, it's about gaining trust. When you stop obsessing over how and when something will happen, you create space for it to actually unfold. Now, here's where the magic happens. Let's talk about why letting go is actually the secret to manifesting the life you want. It sounds counterintuitive, right? We're always told that if we want something, we have to chase it. But what if I told you that chasing actually pushes your desires further away? In the law of attraction, there's a powerful concept known as vibrational alignment. The idea is simple. You attract what matches your energy. But here's the catch. When you're desperately clinging to an outcome, you're operating from a place of lack, not abundance. You're basically broadcasting, "I don't have this, and I need it." And guess what? The universe hears that loud and clear. Aaron Doherty breaks this down perfectly. He explains that when you're attached to something, you're putting it on a pedestal, which creates resistance. The moment you do that, you're telling the universe that whatever you want is separate from you, and it becomes even harder to reach. Think about it this way. Have you ever noticed how people who are looking for love often struggle to find it? But the moment they stop searching, boom, it just shows up. That's because they've shifted from a place of neediness to a place of allowing. They've let go of the pressure, and the universe can finally work its magic. It's like tuning into a radio station. When you're fixated on wanting something, your signal gets all scrambled. But when you let go of the static and trust the process, your frequency aligns with what you desire, and it comes to you effortlessly. Letting go creates the space for what you want to come into your life. It's about allowing rather than forcing. The less you try to control everything, the more room you give for opportunities to naturally unfold. So, the reason letting go is so crucial for manifestation is because it shifts your energy from scarcity to abundance. You stop focusing on the absence of what you want and start trusting that it's already on its way. And once you're in that flow, that's when the real magic starts to happen. Here's the script for 4. How to practice letting go, keeping in line with the writing guidelines for maintaining engagement and clarity. So, now that we understand why letting go is so powerful, the next big question is, how do you actually do it? How do you stop gripping so tightly and start allowing things to flow? Let's break it down into simple steps you can practice daily. The first technique is something Aaron Doherty swears by: breathwork and meditation. Breathwork allows you to literally release stored tension in your body and helps you let go of any emotional baggage you might be holding on to. Here's how you can try it. Take a few minutes each day, sit quietly, and focus on your breathing. When emotions come up, and trust me, they will, don't resist them. Just let them flow. The more you allow those feelings to surface, the easier it is to release them. Think of it like this: every time you exhale, you're symbolically letting go of the stress and attachment you've been carrying around. It's a physical way to tell your body and mind, I'm ready to release what no longer serves me. The second technique is one of the most underrated tools for letting go: observing your thoughts without judgment. It's as simple as sitting still for 5 minutes and just watching your thoughts pass by, like clouds in the sky. Don't try to control them. Don't label them as good or bad. Just let them be. It's kind of like watching cars go by on the highway. You don't have to jump in every car. You just watch them go by. The same goes for your thoughts. When you stop trying to control or attach meaning to every thought, you free yourself from unnecessary mental clutter. Another powerful practice is letting go of the need for control. We all like to think we can control everything, but the truth is we can't. And the more we try, the more resistance we create. Letting go of control is about trusting that things will unfold as they should, even if it's not exactly how we envisioned it. Think about how many times you've planned something to perfection, only for things to go completely sideways. And yet, sometimes those unexpected twists turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to you. That's the universe doing its thing. Finally, let's talk about emotional release. Many people think that feeling negative emotions will block their manifestations. But here's the thing: the more you suppress your emotions, the more they get stuck inside of you. Letting go is about allowing yourself to feel those emotions fully so they can pass through you, not stay trapped in your body. And no, feeling a negative emotion isn't going to mess up your manifesting abilities. In fact, when you let yourself feel it without judgment, you release its hold over you, raising your vibration. So, here's your challenge: start small. Pick just one thing to let go of today, whether it's a negative thought, a past hurt, or even just the need to be in control of every situation. Start practicing these techniques a little each day, and you'll be amazed at how much lighter and more magnetic you feel. Here's the script for 5. The role of allowing, in line with the writing guidelines for keeping content engaging and informative. So, we've talked about letting go, but there's another piece to the puzzle: allowing. Letting go creates space, but allowing is what fills that space with everything you've been asking for. Think of it like this: when you let go of something, you open your hands. But what's the point of open hands if you're not ready to receive? That's where allowing comes in. It's about being open to the possibilities the universe is ready to deliver. In the law of attraction, allowing means you're not just hoping or wishing for something to happen, you're expecting it. You're trusting that it's already on its way, even if you can't see it yet. It's like planting a seed. You don't keep digging it up to check if it's growing, do you? You water it, give it sunlight, and trust that the process is happening beneath the surface. When you let go of the need to control how something will happen, you stop creating barriers for it to come into your life. Allowing is about being in a state of flow where things feel natural and effortless. Allowing is also deeply connected to trust and surrender. It's about having faith that what's meant for you will arrive in the perfect time and form. But here's the thing: It's not just passive waiting. You're actively inviting those things in by aligning your energy with what you want. Think of it like tuning into a radio station. Letting go clears the static, but allowing is what tunes you into the exact frequency of what you desire. You don't force it. You simply adjust your energy until you're in sync. Now, here's where most people get stuck. We love the idea of allowing, but we're scared it won't work. We feel like we need to make things happen. But the truth is, the more you push, the more you block. Remember, the universe responds to your energy. If you're constantly checking the status of your manifestation, you're essentially sending out doubt instead of trust. So, how do you allow? Start by releasing any expectations of how or when something should arrive. Instead, focus on being in a high vibration state, whether that's by doing something you love, meditating, or simply spending time in nature. When you're in that relaxed, open state, you're in the perfect position to receive. Today, I challenge you to shift from, "How can I make this happen?" to, "How can I allow this to come to me?" The more you practice allowing, the more you'll see how effortlessly things can flow into your life. Here's an extended version of 6 common misconceptions with more depth and examples, keeping in line with the writing guidelines. Alright, before we wrap things up, let's dive into some common misconceptions about letting go and manifesting. These are myths that can make you feel stuck or frustrated, but once you understand the truth behind them, you'll see that manifesting doesn't have to be so complicated. Let's start with a big one. Negative emotions will block your manifestations. This is one of the most common fears people have, especially when they first start practicing the law of attraction. Here's the truth. Feeling negative emotions won't stop your manifestations from coming. Suppressing them, however, might slow things down. The law of attraction isn't about pretending to be happy all the time or faking positivity. It's about being real with yourself. When you allow yourself to feel those emotions and then let them go, you actually free up the energy to attract what you want. Think of it this way. Have you ever tried to push down feelings of frustration or anger, only for them to bubble up even stronger later on? That's because emotions need to be felt and released, not ignored. So, don't worry if you're having a bad day. You won't mess up your manifestations by being human. In fact, the more honest you are with your emotions, the more aligned your energy will be. Next up, letting go means giving up. This is one that trips a lot of people up. When we talk about letting go, it doesn't mean you're abandoning your goals or desires. Letting go is about releasing the need to control how and when something will happen, not giving up on wanting it. You can still be passionate about your dreams, but without the obsessive need to micromanage every step. When you let go, you're telling the universe, "I trust that this will come to me in the best way possible," rather than forcing it to happen on your timeline. It's like planting a garden. You plant the seeds, water them, give them sunlight, and then you wait. You don't stand there every minute, obsessing over whether they're going to grow. You trust the process. You know that in time, with the right care, they'll bloom. Manifesting works the same way. Once you've done your part, you need to allow time for things to unfold naturally. Another big misconception is that letting go means you might lose everything. This belief comes from the fear that if we don't cling tightly to what we want, it will slip away. But the truth is, the tighter you hold onto something, the more likely you are to create resistance and push it away. Imagine holding a handful of sand. If you squeeze it too tightly, the sand slips through your fingers. But if you relax your grip, the sand stays in your hand. The same thing happens with your goals and desires. When you loosen your grip, when you trust that what's meant for you will stay, you allow it to actually take root in your life. I get it. Letting go can feel scary, especially if you've worked hard for something. It feels like you're giving up control, and that's uncomfortable. But here's the thing, control is often an illusion. The more we try to control every detail of how things will happen, the more stress we create for ourselves, and the further we push our desires away. Letting go is actually the ultimate act of trust. It's telling the universe, "I know you've got this. And when you do that, when you stop gripping so tightly, you make space for something even better than you imagined to come in. Think of it as switching from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Instead of saying, "If I let go, I might lose it," try saying, "If I let go, something even greater can come to me." You've probably experienced this before, like when you stop stressing about a project or a decision, and suddenly everything falls into place. Or when you stop searching for something you lost, and it just shows up out of nowhere. That's the power of letting go and allowing. So the idea that letting go means losing control, total myth. Letting go is actually what gives you more power. When you release the need to control every step, you allow the universe to work its magic in ways you couldn't have predicted. My advice? Next time you catch yourself clinging to a specific outcome or stressing over how something's going to happen, take a deep breath and remind yourself that letting go is part of the process. It doesn't mean you're giving up, it means you're allowing things to unfold in the best way possible. Here's an enhanced version of the language you provided, woven into the conclusion. So, to bring it all together, letting go isn't about giving up on your dreams or pretending everything's perfect. It's about releasing the tight grip of control, allowing things to unfold naturally, and trusting that the universe has your back. We've covered a lot today, from understanding the power of letting go, to why it's essential for manifesting, and busting some common misconceptions along the way. The main takeaway: when you let go of the how and when, you create space for the universe to surprise you with something even better. Remember, letting go is not a sign of weakness, it's an act of trust and strength. You're telling the universe, "I'm ready to receive what's truly meant for me." So, what's one thing you're ready to release today? A negative thought, a limiting belief, or maybe even that need to control a specific outcome? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you're working on letting go of. Now, before you go, I'd like to ask a small favor. If you enjoyed this content and found it helpful, take just a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Imagine the impact we could make for all the seekers out there, the chosen ones who are looking for this kind of light and wisdom, if we all came together. It costs you nothing, but that single click can make all the difference. With just a moment of your time, you're part of the magic. And if you're ready to dive deeper into mastering the art of letting go and manifesting, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more content coming that will take your manifesting game to the next level. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, the more you let go, the more you allow in. You've got this. Until next time, stay open, stay aligned, and let the universe do its thing.